Alright, so this is going to be kind of a little unorthodox. This is No Holds Barred podcast, but it's just me, Joey Turner. Anything I may say does not mean that Denise feels the same way. I just felt like getting this out because I said it was going to be monthly. It's like a month and a week now. And Denise and I aren't really on the same schedules. And I just wanted to clear some stuff up. Again, nothing I say means that Denise feels the same way. This is all just me. This may be 10-minute podcast. This may be 30-minute podcast. Hell, this might be 2 hours. I don't know. Just going to cover a few topics. Kind of maybe lighten the mood up at first. Not really, though. I'm just going to answer some of your fucking questions that I had. And then I'm going to talk about the big task at hand today. So just bear with me. I'm doing this on my own, so it may seem a little awkward for me. Maybe for you, I don't know. Alright, so the first question is, are edits and matches good? Should they be considered sim? The thing about that for me is, I think edited matches are a part of sim. I mean, now at least they are, but I don't think it's necessarily pure sim. I'm like Nick Virtue in that sense. But I don't think that, I mean, there's some matches that may be like overly edited, but it makes sense. It doesn't look bad. Like Darren versus Sean at Heatwave, that was pretty heavily edited, but it was good, at least in my opinion. Now, I don't think it's pure sim. I just think it's necessary for big matches because there's certain things that you want to do that the game won't allow you, first off. And you're just, I don't know. I mean, you're just kind of idiotic to not use it when you have it at hand. It's not like actual WWE where they have to do it live, and if they botch, then they get booed or whatever. I mean, that'd be kind of cool if they had a show like that and then they had the crowd like boo when they botched or whatever, you know? But again, on the other hand, I think that it's a good thing because why not utilize what we have? So that's my stance on that. Second topic, trends in CAW. Are they good? Are they bad? Blah, blah, blah. Well, for me, for instance, I want to know why the same CAW trends happen every few months. Like, don't get me wrong, it's better than drama, but it's always the same questions. It's always appreciating the same people that you've appreciated over and over and over and over. In my mind, you're just feeding people's egos. And when we only allow like a month or two in between these CAW threads or quote this tweet shit like that, you're always going to appreciate the same people because in this community, not very much comes out in a short amount of time. So it's always the same people that you're quoting. It's always the same people that you're commenting on threads about. It's just like, it's good. Again, it's better than drama, but I get sick of seeing the same shit over and over and over and over again. And it's not the fact that maybe I'm not getting attention or whatever. If that's how you're gonna take this, that's not even the case. I could care less if I got attention. That would help me because then I wouldn't have to see it near as much. But I still see it on my timeline, and that's what I'm talking about because it's always the same fucking trend. Like, if it was a tweak about the trend, or if there was like a different trend where it wasn't CAW thread or quote this tweet or whatever, then maybe it would be kind of cool. There's some every now and then, but it's mostly caw thread and quoteless tweet, and that's really fucking repetitive. This was just a topic I wanted to talk about, is collaboration videos. Now, again, all content is for the most part good content because you're giving to the community with your content. What I'm about to say does not mean I'm not appreciative of these. I may not watch them, but that doesn't mean I'm not appreciative of them. And that's collaboration videos. Now, nowadays, this community thinks collaboration videos are making a matching attire with somebody and then posting an entrance with both attires going down to the ring, and that's it. Now, the only irk I have about calling that a collaboration video is there's no collaboration in the video. You collabed on the attire, so why not just keep it at that, leave it on Twitter? It's a collaboration attire. When I think of collaboration videos, I think of the stuff like Tino made. Like, I made one with him and Nathan Kidd is his name, I think. And then I know Tino made one with some other people a few months later. And that's like actual mixes where people did their own parts and it contributed to the actual music video, collaboration video. That's what I think of when I think of collaboration videos. They actually take creativity to make the video. Again, your attires are really creative, but that should not be called a collaboration video because all you did is you picked your characters, turned entrances on, and recorded. That's not a collaboration video in my mind. Now I got a question. Somebody asked me what I think the worst leagues are. As much as I don't want to answer this question, I'm going to because it was asked. So, if you want to skip through this, you can, because I'm pretty sure you're going to know my answer. Well, first off, just me purely. The ones ran by people who have ran 7 other leagues or however fucking many leagues, those people always run the shittiest leagues in my mind. And that's why I don't join half of these leagues, because I know their track record. When you've ran like 7 or 8, 9, 10 different leagues and they all died because you lost motivation, but then, oh, I suddenly have motivation, let's recreate a new show. I don't join those shows, and I don't like watching those shows because I know where they're headed. And there's multiple people out there. Again, these people are my friends, but I won't join leagues ran by Clark Edwards because he's ran multiple leagues. Again, he's my friend, but that's just me being honest, is I won't join his shows because of how many he's ran and how many have ended. And yes, I understand that's because of personal reasons. But if you know that you're prone to have these personal issues come up, then don't run a league. Maybe go help a league out like BDG. And that's my next topic. Go help somebody that needs help editing a show so we can get content out. And then you're not stuck with your show and then you're like, oh, I have to end it because I don't have time. And that's my next topic, is BDG. Now, I know a lot of you disagree with me, and quite frankly, I don't give two shits. I think right now that BDG is the worst league in the community. Now, I'm gonna get hate for this, and I don't give a shit, because it's an opinion, it's not a fact. BDG has been around since 2K15. It was a great show at the start, I don't care how bad the editing was or anything. They pushed content out. They told a story. They had good matches. They had a vision in mind. They went through with that till, like, I want to say July of last year when Extinguish came out. And everything was great. It was great. And then they decided to take a break to release How Glory or whatever. That was when my issue started, was because like, this is just to my knowledge, that Darren was editing BDG, HOW, I think he was helping with Kapow, and he was probably an FAM at this point. So here he was editing all the stuff, plus all the matches, like his Somersault Circuit match that is still yet to come out, and his Heatwave match. He did all of this extra stuff, and that postponed all these shows. And then next thing you know, we were waiting, I think it was like four or 5 months till How Glory came out. And by then I lost interest in HOW, but that was one of my favorite leagues back then. But I lost complete interest. I forgot everything that happened. I didn't have any investment in any of the characters. Nothing stuck with me because of that time that they took away from it. And then they came out with BDG, and I'm pretty sure that was 6 months after Extinguish. Again, BDG was great, but once they took that time away, I forgot everything that was going on. I don't know what stories were happening. I don't know who was feuding. I don't know who held the title. I didn't know anything. Hell, I didn't even know my own storyline. And then they came out, and it was just because by then, well, no, they might have released one episode before 2K17 came out, but that was definitely like 6 months after the fact. And then they just started releasing more, and it's 2K16 footage. They're still doing 2K16 footage, and it's mid 2K17. And that's the thing that irks me right now is, why the fuck are we still using 2K16 matches and shit for shows when we're midway through 2K17? And then you want us to bulk record all these 2K17 clips, matches, cutscenes, and all this, when I guarantee you we'll probably be using all this 2K17 stuff midway through 2K18, and I don't want to watch previous game footage. Again, I'm appreciative for your content. I'm not going to watch it. This isn't a fact. This is an opinion. But I find that shit boring. If you're going to run a show, then run it. Like, if you're too busy, just end it. Or do what Na's doing and quit recording episodes. Record a pay-per-view and call that your final pay-per-view and just end it all right there. That way you have less to do, because I'm pretty sure you're still editing How, and you still have all these big matches you gotta edit, and you're still editing for FAM. You don't have time for BDG like you used to. And I also understand you got a personal life. Who doesn't? I believe that personal lives come before CAW. So that's why I'm saying just end the show. And I'm not... I gotta keep reminding you, because I know somebody's gonna fucking misinterpret this. This is an opinion that I think you should end the show. I'm not saying end it, and I'm the say-all, be-all, end-all, whatever you want to fucking say. It's your show, you do what you want. This is one person's opinion. That's all I got for that. I think most other leagues are pretty good. They're decent. WTW is pretty good. I like their shit. I haven't really watched Future, but I hear good things about it. There's, I think, another league that's coming out. BCW I haven't watched. I heard it is good, though. I know LOU people were kind of... It was a hit or miss. I know some people liked that. The Royal Rumble, FAM Royal Rumble, that was pretty great. I didn't really watch the matches per se, but I watched the actual Rumble event. That was pretty good. I know Valor is a pretty good league so far that people like to talk about, and they're pretty good with their content and like releasing it and stuff. I haven't really watched since, what was it, Ignite? Is that what it's called? I only watched like half of that because, again, nothing against them, but nowadays I can't really watch CAW shows because it just isn't entertaining to me. Alright, it looks like I'm only about 16 minutes and 30 seconds into this, and I'm already at my main topic. Now, this topic is so retarded. It is I don't even have words for it. It's just, I am so baffled by the amount of people that mistook what I was saying. And this is the whole Caw Week, Devontae Blake Ryan's thing, whatever you want to call this. Now, I'll start off with Caw Week, which was supposed to be Caw Weekend. I love when content gets put out. Again, I've said this multiple times, I don't really watch it, but there's times where, like, say it's on Twitch, I'll just pop in because it's really entertaining when it's on Twitch and you have a live chat to talk to throughout the show. That's really great. It's probably the only time I'll ever watch shows. Now, Caw Weekend, in theory, in my opinion, in theory, it's a good idea. But execution always fails. At least in my eyes, it fails. And that's because, especially with the events that they put out, which was Spring Cleaning, I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be a pay-per-view. Then you had Dystopia, and then you had Matter of Fate, and those are all basically pay-per-view type events. Alright, so for example, say WWE released Backlash on Friday, and then they released, let's say, Extreme Rules on Saturday, and then they had WrestleMania on Sunday. That just doesn't make sense, does it? The viewership would go down. Your events would mean less because you had 3 major pay-per-views all in one weekend. And to top it off, Caw is still really not that big. We still have a lot of the same people, so I'm pretty sure there's probably overlap and there's probably characters on more than one of those shows. To me, that doesn't make sense. And then you add CTO, which is, I mean, basically a Monday Night Raw, and then I'm pretty sure there was a Catch This Ass thing that was Darren and Frisco, or not Frisco, Darren and Norm. It just made the whole weekend a clusterfuck to me. Like, I didn't want to watch anything purely because there was too much to watch. Now, if they would have had their own separate weekends, I'm pretty sure that more people would have cared about Spring Cleaning. I'm pretty sure more people would have cared about Dystopia. Pretty sure more people would have cared about Matter of Fate. I don't like to use this as an example all the time, but for instance, Jack, I think at the time, was releasing Arcadia 1, and I was releasing Heatwave. He wanted to release, I think, Arcadia the same weekend that I was going to release Heatwave, and I said, fuck that. So I gave him the whole week. All while I still had my videos on unlisted, I let people soak in Arcadia, and I gave that a pay-per-view type feel because I didn't cluster it with my event. So it felt like an actual pay-per-view because it was all on its own and it's all people were talking about for the whole week. And then I proceeded to take my videos off unlisted the next week, and then I had my time to shine. And it made it feel like a pay-per-view. I guarantee you, if Arcadia and Heatwave were on the same weekend, they would have been competing against each other, and one or the other would have probably not got as much attention as the other. Now again, that's an opinion. I have no facts to prove that that would have happened, but common sense tells me that that would have happened. Don't get me wrong, I'm appreciative for the content. I know how much work it takes to make these events, but I really think that they failed because they all released on the same week. Or weekend, I guess. But it was technically a week because there was like 5 days of fucking content. Now, you can't tell me, this is one of the arguments that Devontae Blake Ryan had. Oh, people just want to hurry up and get it out so they could start working on the next project. That is the biggest fucking load of shit I've ever heard. Because you can go and upload a video and leave it on unlisted, right? There's an option called unlisted. And you could wait however long you want to release that. So if you wanted to wait a week, you didn't have to fucking release it call weekend. You could have been like, yeah, I'm going to release it next week. Kept it on unlisted, and then next thing you know, that weekend rolls around. Put it public, or stream it, or whatever you were going to do. Whoa, you have your own fucking weekend now. And hey, while you are waiting for your event to release for that whole week, you could start working on your next event. So you're ahead of the game. You're not behind. You're always one step ahead. Imagine if we would have had all of those events all on their own weekend. They all would have felt a little more prestigious, and people would have talked about them and only them for that week. I've hardly seen any spring cleaning tweets because I feel like people quit caring about that after it got outshined by like 3 different fucking shows. And then nobody was talking about Dystopia. Makes me feel bad for Jack because he put a lot of time into that. And then Matter of Fate came out, and then those past 2 pay-per-views didn't mean shit because it wasn't the hot topic. It wasn't the new stuff. It was old news. And that's what I was getting at. I wasn't saying that I wasn't appreciative for this content. It's a good idea in theory, but it doesn't work when it's like 3 pay-per-view events that are trying to progress their show. Like, if it was an episode, not a pay-per-view, maybe it would have worked. But it was just too much. And I'm sorry if any of you misunderstood that. I wasn't mad that nobody agreed with me. I can only get my point across with so many characters on Twitter, so I can't really explain myself all that great. And that's just how I feel about that shit. But now my last topic is fucking Devontae Blake Ryan. Now, I may butcher this. This is only my side of the story. I don't have Devontae Blake Ryan's side of the story. But I may butcher this too because it was so long ago. Maybe if I go down far enough, I could maybe find it on my notifications. Let's see. Yeah, I don't have it. Basically, him and I came to a disagreement about Call Week. And me, I'm not one to hide my opinion, so I went ahead and tweeted at him. I thought it was pretty civil at the start. I said it was a bad idea, and then he came at me with arguments that made no fucking sense, like the one where people want to get content out so they can work on their next project. I've basically debunked that by saying you can put your videos on unlisted and work on them, and then release them the next week. So there went that fucking argument. And then he said, that we can't say that there's no lack of content, which is, again, a load of shit. Because we can say that. Now, recently, like this week was pretty good. This weekend was pretty good because I heard there was 2 shows that came out. So we're being pretty steady right now, but there will be a time where we just don't have any shows come out. And trust me, I'd really like to be proven wrong on this. So say a month or 2 happens and we're still releasing content regularly. I'll eat my fucking words. I don't give a shit. I'm not stubborn enough to stick by an opinion that's false. But we can say there is a lack of content, because there will be a lack of content, because people won't have shows out every single week unless your name is Valor. They apparently fucking release like every 2 weeks. At least that's what it seems like. But everything else is going to be on a halt. I guarantee you there will be a week where we won't have a show for maybe 2 or 3 weeks. Then there will be a dry spell. And then, I don't know, I don't have the conversation on hand, so I don't know exactly what went down, but I think I was just trying to show him that his opinions, in my mind, were wrong. And then it kind of escalated. People told us to stop, and so I finally said, you know what, I'll let you think what you want to think. I'm gonna shut up because people want me to shut up, so how about you shut up? And then he replied to like 3 of my tweets when I said it clearly, let's just shut up. He replied to like 2 of my tweets, and then he proceeded to send me a tweet of Leonardo DiCaprio holding the glass and saying peace or whatever. That irked me because I told him to shut up, because I was told to shut up. So I told him to quit fucking tweeting at me. And then he tweeted at me again, and I said, one more chance before I take matters into my own hands and end this conversation. Then he proceeded to tweet at me and then block me, and then I look like the bad guy because, oh man, I told somebody to shut up, and I took a fucking topic and sounded like an idiot for whatever I was trying to say. That's where it really irks me, is because people think that I quit CAW because of this whole situation, which is a load of fucking shit. I didn't leave because of this situation. I left for something completely different that I will not talk about because it's not for me to talk about. If the person in the community wants to talk about it, then go for it, because it's not in my hands to talk about. And I know I'm being vague, but who knows, maybe you'll hear it tomorrow or in 3 months why I kind of am taking a break. That, and I'm also getting into trucking, so I'm going to be on the road a lot more, so I won't be able to really be around as much. But I did not leave because of CAW Week or Devontae Blake Ryan. I could care less about all that shit. It's all behind me. I know when to move on. I just want to explain myself because people are going around spreading rumors that I left because of these reasons, which is complete and utter bullshit. So, yeah, that's pretty much all I got on hand. It looks like I'm at about 30 minutes, so that's really all I have to say. I probably butchered a lot of shit that I had to say. If you have any questions, just DM me. Not really active on Twitter all that much anymore, but yeah, just find a way to contact me and I'll fucking get back to you. That's all I got. Deuces.